Okay, welcome everyone. Which for that class. This lesson is basically going to be focused on. So at the end of the day, we'll be looking at uh, profit, loss, profit percent, loss percent, and we'll go into VAT if there is time. We'll go into VAT. When we are done with percentages, quickly go look at. We're supposed to do geometric construction, but I think we'll put a hold on that so that I can get the software that help me do it well. So when we are done and there's still time and we can do, and also look at algebra of algebra. So we'll start. I want to look at the meaning of percentage. Percentage is actually a word that was got in Latin percentum. Percentum is spelled CUN, okay, which means out of 100 or per 100. Out of per 100. So that's where we got the word. Most English words are filled. Most of their words pattern applies to math because topics appears in those subjects where so I said percentage was percent or percent came Latin, two different Latin per percentum out out of it. So that's the meaning. What it means is that if I have 6%, that this is out of something is out of division. Okay, we are implying that if division are looking, it becomes what 6/100. Okay, that is a percent. Now, uh, the symbol for percentage is the P. By now almost everyone knows it. So 6 out of. So there's this normal definition we normally a percentage is anything over 100. Percentage is anything. So that's an example. It's the same thing applies when we have 70. Have 70 out. Right? This might be too basic for some people. I just refer. Fine. So now we are going to take our first example. Example is going to be fractions mouse ratio. They actually are dealing with in order to how to convert. We'll move to the next thing to convert one called this. we'll be looking at. Um, the first thing we want to look at is the question is posed as express of the following as so let's say we've been given this example 36%, another one to 3 whole number 1 over 8%, whole number 1 over 8 have 2.4. So we have a fraction there. And we're going to look at how to solve it. From our previous script, have will attach. Same principle we are going to be applying. So if we have this, it becomes 36 over what? Now, once we write 36 over 100, we get to this cannot be our final answer. Our final answer is meant to be in the simplest form. So having our final answer in this form will mean that we would have to break this down. Okay, so we are going to look for a factor that will go into both sides. Now, 36, if I have 4 can go into 36 9 times. If I get a factor that will go into 100, or which number go into both numerator and denominator without a remainder? That number is 4. 4 times 9 will give us 39. 4 times 25 will give us. Now, when you do the first breakdown, you check if you can break down first. With this one, I'm not sure we can break it down. Have 5 and not have a common factor. Okay, don't have any. Now the second one, which is a mixed fraction, first thing we need is to a mixed fraction to. First thing we need to do is to change the mixed fraction an improper fraction. Let me just proper fraction. Change the mixed fraction to an improper. This is how to put this at. What it means is the answer we get added to the so 8 times will give us 25. Maintain the denominator. This becomes this. Now we'll go further through this as 5. And we are going to bring 5 over times. Okay? Y times 100. Because originally this percentage means over 100. Once the fraction bar is all we need to have been as 25 over what? 800. But when you look at it closely, 5 and have factors. 25 going to 4 times. So we'll look at this by breaking it. 5 will go. So after breaking that down, 8 times. That's We're going to look at the decimal one. Go to the decimal one, we have 0.4, 2.4%. With the 2.4%, the decimal point, then we have to do what you do is once you flip number of times, the number of times once. Then we'll find out what can be factor of 20 out of it. That's really the 8. Basically, here, go here, our fraction. That is how we fractions or ratio. We are going to move to another example, but before we move to the other example, I want to write some trial questions by your notes from this particular class. So the trial one today, we're going to have several trials. First one is press. Flowing. Press each of the following answer that are your questions. You need to try. We have 40%. Already know what the percentage symbol. Previous have 5 points. Have 1 because 5 is more than 100. Not in the that more than 100% can back to. So that is your trial question. Okay? That's the trial question. Move to an example for another laptop. That topic has to do finding a percentage. But before we move to that, I want to find out the number of people. The number of people who have actually copied this so that I can move to next screen. So if you copied this, then kindly raise up your hand so that. Sorry, did I say raise up your hand? Yeah. Can type something. That's section. And okay, no response yet. I think I'll just move. So I'm gonna move to the next screen. It will be on YouTube, so later you can come in. So next screen, the next thing we want to look at is something about percent. That's finding a percent. Find a percent. Then to find a percentage of a given quantity, change the percentage fractions, then multiply it by. So if I have five, what it means is that we are going to change this fraction So changing it to a fraction, 8 over. Then I'm guessing your I told you that off not odd math. The O there is not off. So off here more. And we are going to break it down till we get representation. Now, the representation you're going to get will not have a unit unless the quantity you are dealing with has a unit. But with this one, doesn't have a unit. So, and then breaking it down. Answer we get is the answer we need to provide. So now, when we look at it close, we'll prefer to go diagonal to break down and decide to break balance the bit. So if we decide to go diagonal, what it means, find out how many times. Okay, so let's do that. What we'll go into that, then we'll have 25. I want to find out 25 times what will give us 25 times what 5 will go here. Oh, sorry, the number is that's how come it's, and we'll have I said, or you write it as you see it. We'll take one with units. Another example is 7, 14. So that's going to be 7 over 100 times what? 14 over 100. You wish that, oh, the 7 was down here. Realize the case is not possible. What you do, we introduce our 1, and then we'll find out 2 here, 7, 2 here. Now it becomes 40. So now it becomes 49 over 50. 49 over. You can also decide to convert it. If you decide to break down, but if you have time, you are good at this, get to this. You are not that good at decimals, you just leave it. Okay. We are building this so that we can answer the profit and loss, percent, all those business aspects. This aspect of the topic under really, once you understand this, that's why I'm teaching. So you can leave it that way or you change it to decimal. Now, when you change it to decimal, 8 low 0.98. So basically that is it for changing or finding the percent quantity, finding a percent. Your trial basically 1 find 20 1 times so this part when you're going to go then how you were I said when you are expressing a of a given quantity, find the percent. How to change that percent. Use that fraction to multiply it. With this one, since we've done mixed fractions, when whole number 1 divided by 2 should be equal to. Don't say it's already in a fraction. It's not in a fraction because of the symbol already after this. Meaning discussed it. So please. Now we also want to look at how to write one quantity as a percentage of a second or another quantity. So basically that's the next one we want to look at. So writing quantity as another quantity. So that's what we want to look. Well, this one is basically is the first quantity. You can write this divided by second quantity multiplied by an example of a question that requires us to do that is basically 12 over, sorry, example which requires us to do when a question is posed as what percent is 12 what 80. I'm guessing you've seen. What you need to do is basically this is the first passage over the side by. With this one you can cancel this. 4 will go here, 2, 4 will go here, 3, and we have 2 here, 1, 5 of the day. 1, 5, which have given us. I remember there should be a percentage symbol here. Good. What percentage? What percentage? Once you get your answer, they want you to add 12 as stage when you compare to 7%. So with this one, your trial basically is going to be one is the 2 here is that let me you always change the bigger units to the smaller unit so that they'll have the same unit. Go ahead to do your calculation. We can't maintain the seconds a minute. We will end up making an error. So we first of all would have to change to seconds. We want to find out how many minutes we or how many seconds we just going to use multiply that. That's going to be be 1/8. Means that every 2 minutes is 1/8. Once we've established that, then we can go ahead and now identify that this is vacuum. Go to the one is 1/8 times 24 or 1/8. Once we cancel, we will end up, we can use 2 here 5, 2 here 9. Use 2 cancel, have here 8, 5. That's going to be. You can decide to change this to other. So we want to move to, the real deal, the profit slash loss. Once we are done looking at profit, what profit means, what loss means, some other terminologies, cost price, selling price. We'll look at profit percent, and loss. Okay? So we want to look at what cost price is. Okay? So we can see that cost price is the money paid to someone to buy an item. Okay? Cost price is the money paid to someone in order to. And selling price is basically the money received from someone. Okay? Once that person, this will be the selling. And it basically means that the cost price for the pen, from your view, selling price of 5C. That's the difference. So in word problems which involves cost price, cost, you need to read the question in order to decipher which one your loss, or which one is your cost price, which one is your selling price, which one is your profit, and all that. Most of calculations we are going to be doing, the most important one is when the question is given to you, you should be able to identify which one is cost price, selling price. So profits, some books will write it as gain. So gain something, profit something. So you obtain a profit. Selling price is more than your. For this one, this particular person, but maybe bought this pen for 5 CDs, decided to sell it for 5 CDs. I came and I bargained and I got to end up making for the thing for even selling, not selling. That is a loss. But if me have gained an hour, that would be. So that is profit or gain. When your selling price is more, selling price, okay? Selling price minus cost price. Now you will make a loss. You make a loss when your cost price, is more than If I should use, you make a loss if your selling price is less than cost price. Selling price. If we decide to use the same thing, that is a loss. You realize if you decide to use, realize that negative means what? Cost something. So we are doing the calculation of profit lost, you end up getting a negative. That if you use the original formula for loss, cost price, not get. Anyway, the negative that you get is an indication that what you have lost something. Okay? So we are going to quickly move into the calculation. But before we move into the calculation, let's discuss the loss percent. Now, profit or loss are all calculated on the cost price. So it's all that is why when it comes to profit percent, formula is profit over the cost price 100 because we're looking for the loss percent is equal to around the loss the cost price as you need to keep. Now the only normally as you decide so the selling price of the calculator now that be, so with this one when you look at it you know that Kwame would have made an extra 9 Ghana cedi. Okay? So now the question says that we should find his gain or loss. Once we know it is gain, we'll quickly write gain. They are using gain. Gain is actually the selling price. You know the selling price to be cost price. So once we establish, Kwame made a gain, Ghana cedi. Kwame made gain. The two zeros that I introduced are mainly to accommodate any form of decimal when you do your calculation. Okay, so you make the statement. Now, the second example, example 2, a shopkeeper bought a sheep for 2 Ghana cedi, sold it at a profit of 8 Ghana. A shopkeeper, so let's listen to it. Shopkeeper bought a bear sheet for Ghana cedi, sold it at a profit of. Find the selling price of it. That's the shopkeeper bought the bear sheet for find the bear cost of. And sold it, or he made a profit of what? 8 Ghana cedi for profit. 8 Ghana. Then they are saying that we should find the sell. Don't know this. And the formula here is profit for selling. Sorry, there's profit equals selling price minus cost price. So this means that we know the profit. We don't know the selling price. So we present it by a variable. Then we know the cost price to be 40. So it becomes 42. Okay, so basically becomes cost price plus profit. Cost price plus profit. That will know how much is sold there. Now the 42, that will end up giving Ghana cedi. So it means that you made a profit 8 Ghana cedi, sold their sheet to another person, customers. This is the method that most of the market to make to get money. Buy the thing, mess up, increase it. Some go to the doubling the price. So with that one, we are going to go straight. Okay, so what I just said, 100%. And we'll take examples of questions that are profit. I'm going to move to the next screen. If you have a question, send that question chat section. Most of you are saying you can't hear me. I hope you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, so we will go to the screen and we are going to look at the profit. Okay, we'll look at the profit percent. Now, with profit percent, basically, this is the question. Kofi sold one of his computers, which he had bought for 1,000 Ghana cedis for 800 Ghana cedis. He had a computer, sold it to him. The price of the computer was what? 1,000 Ghana cedis. Now he sold it to Amma for 8. They are saying we should find his cost. So there are two things they are saying, fine, and this is actually going to last thing. There are two things they are saying. That's what loss, then loss, loss and loss. So loss is actually fine. Loss is actually price loss. Answer needs to have a percentage sign. So we want to find out. Let's go back to the question. One of his, which he bought for 1,000 Ghana. So cost of the computer is 1,000 Ghana. He sold it to Amma for, that's the selling price. He sold it to Amma for 800 Ghana cedi. So look at it, has made by the stated, find the lost, and then you'd find the lost person. Instead, that we should find the profit or the profit. So once we have that, all we need to do is basically find our loss and comes cost price minus selling price. This obviously is 200 Ghana cedi. So Kofi made a loss of 200 Ghana. Now we are going to find the loss percent. Actually, the 200 Ghana cedi loss over the cost price, which is 1,000 100%. This in these two zeros will come. At the end of the day, have 20 all in multiply by 1 is that all in. That's we made cost. Thank you very much, guys. So we are going to end attendance was not so encouraging. So I'll review whether this passed. Thank you very much. Have a nice, enjoy your holiday.